tutorial I'm going to show you 3 different vintage style or inspired Christmas tree decorations that all you need to make is metallic card or metallic wrapping paper. But they make really cute decorations and they're really easy. So here goes. Okay, so the first one I'm going to make is the bell, and I have just made a template out of paper. I just folded the paper in half and then done half of the bell, so both sides will be exactly the same because that's what you need. And then I'm going to take the shiny card and I'm going to cut out the bells. So I'm just going to draw around it, and you're going to need between like 6 and 8 bells. They can all be different colours. The more colours you have, the more kind of retro-y they're going to look. But also the ones that are just like 3 colours, like repeated, are quite nice as well. Like if you do a Christmassy colours, like a gold, red and a green, they still look quite retro. But the ones that I remember were like full colour. So like pink, blue, green, gold, silver and all that jazz. So that's what I'm going for. And at the moment, if you're in the UK, you can actually get some packs of cards like this. I think did you get 10 or 20 in there? I don't know, but they're on offer at the moment. They're like 59p. You get 4 different colours in there. So that's in the range. Don't know how long that's lasting for, or if that's just because they're not going to be doing these anymore. I don't know. But either way, it's a good deal at the moment. I'm just going to carefully cut this out, though I know I'm not going to cut them out all exactly the same, so there's going to be some white showing, which is going to annoy me. Okay, so when that's done, don't knock everything over. You got this, and then you're going to just fold it in half. Try and make the edges line up. And folding card in half can be quite tricky. Also, if you wanted these made out of paper, you can use actually like the metallic Christmas wrapping paper. Obviously they'll be a lot more flimsy though, so chances are you're not going to be able to save those for another year. Okay, so it's like that. And then you're going to do this, like I say, with other colours as well. So I've got them all already here. And now I'm just going to glue them together. These are actually 2 different colours, there's a purple and a pink, even though they're very similar. Just going to work out where I want these. I don't want the pink too close. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to glue these together. So you're going to keep on folding in half. Get the glue. Smother it on. Get the next one. Line it up. And press it down. I'm going to keep doing this until they're all stuck together. So we're going to pile them up on top of each other. last one. So if you want to hang these on the Christmas tree, you have to add a bit of string or something to it. You can, if you want, just pop a bit of like hot glue or something here and stick the string there, but I'm gonna add mine after it's all done. Because I don't want a chunk in the middle just in case it makes it stick out and not lay flat. So the last one, I've just put the glue on one side and I'm bringing that first one around, lining it up and sticking it together. And there it is, nice and shiny. I say, because I don't cut very well, you can see white bits. You can go back in there and line up properly if you haven't, or simply just move the other ones back and then trim it with your scissors. It's really easy to fix. Yeah, so like I say, I'm simply going to get some, again, sparkly thread on a needle. I'm just going to pop it through, going through one side, out the other. And then I'm just going to make my hoop. So it can hang on the tree. There I have it, all done. That's the first one done. Okay, so the second one, you're still going to be using the shiny card, and we're going to make miniature presents to go on the tree. So depending on how big you want them, they're usually kind of small. I'm going for a 1.5 inch square. They're usually just a tad smaller than this, but I'm just making them slightly bigger because they sometimes do get lost in the tree depending on how big your tree is. I want to be able to see them. But these are really good to use on trees and like if you make a handmade wreath and stuff. So I have the template of the square, and now I'm going to make the template for the box. So you can like search online and just print out a template if you like. If you want it a certain size or you just want to do everything by hand, you just have to basically make a cube. If you don't know how to do that, you get the square template and you put 4 squares in a row. So you're just going to go around it so all the squares are the same size. Just line it up. And then the last one, don't have such difficulty doing that last corner. And then you want to do 2 either side here, so you're making like a cross. So you line it up to the edge of this one. I probably should have used a different colour paper to do the template so you can actually see it. It's probably best to use a card template as well because this will get very messed up. And that's the box template pretty much done. I will be gluing this, or me personally, I prefer to glue them together so you don't see any tape and stuff. So I'm going to show you the little flaps you have to put on to be able to glue it together. But for the tutorial, I will be using tape because I just don't want to wait around, wait for the glue to dry. So you basically make little tags, just little flaps like that on the sides. So when you put it together, you've got something to glue onto the other side of the box. So you need one with every edge that's going to connect. So this one's going to come up, and so will this one. Say like this would be the bottom. So these two edges will be connected. So you need one flap on there. If you can't work out in your head where they need to be, you can either copy the one I'm doing now, or just do a flap on every single edge, and then when you go to put it together, cut off the ones you don't need. It's better to have too many, and then you can just cut off the ones you don't need rather than missing an edge out. Okay, so that one goes to there. This one will be up the top here. And I'll put one here to connect to that side. And it really doesn't matter, like, because this one connects up here, it doesn't matter if you put it here or here. So that's that. That one's going to be connected to that one. I've already done that one. And that one's going to be connected. So that one's got that one, that one's got that one, that one's going to be over there. So that one doesn't actually need any. So now we've just got to cut it out. What did I start from the edge? Okay, so once that's done, you want to fold along every line that you can still see. So I'm actually just going to score along these lines so it's easier to actually fold. You don't have to do this. It just makes it a bit easier. You don't have to use any specific tool either. You can just like use the scissors. You can just score down, and it will do exactly the same thing. So every line you can see, you're going to want to do that. And then we fold it up. Fold all the flaps inwards as well. So you would just put glue on that edge and then stick it to that side. Same with that edge. Stick it onto there, then build up your box from there. Like I say, I'm lazy. Don't want to wait for glue while I'm doing this tutorial. So I am just going to use some tape. It doesn't get stuck. I'm just going to try and use a small piece. that's the box. So now we're going to use some shiny gold thread just to add a little ribbon. So for this, you're going to want to wrap it around the box, turn the thread, wrap it around again, then add a bit more, and then that's going to be how much you're going to need. So let's take off a little bit more than you need than too little. So you fold it in half to find the middle. So that is the middle. Then I'm going to wrap it around the box till you get to the bottom. Then I'm going to cross the strings over. Then I'm going to go back up the other side of the box. And I'm just going to tie a knot. And then I'm going to tie another knot. Then what I also like to do as well is just, so you've got this one that's gone over the top that we just did. So you get the thread and you just put it underneath a bit below that went in the opposite direction. And then you do the same with the other side, but put it through going into the opposite direction you just did. If you can. This is a lot easier than I'm making it look. Then I'm just going to do another little knot for that, just so it will stay in place. So this one won't move up while this one moves down. Then I'm just going to tie off a little bow, and it will be done. If it's a bit loose, just pull it out slightly and then pull these again. And then just cut off any excess you don't need. And there's your little box. You can then like just place them on the tree, hang them on the tree. Nice things about these is like you can use them in different ways. It's like you can hang them up from the top if you're putting it on a tree, or like sideways if you want it facing outwards. And if you want to use them for like wreaths and stuff, you can actually just put a bit of wire in the back. So, and then like stick it into the wreath, and then the ribbon and everything will be facing forward. So just make those in loads of different colours, and that is decoration 2 for this retro or vintage festive decorations video. And then the last one's coming up. It's a bit more work, but it's something I remember making as a kid, like they taught us in school. And yeah, that one already just stuck with me, so that one's up next. Okay, for my final one, you're going to need, again, to cut out a shape from the coloured card. So you're just going to cut out a circle. I basically just did this drawing the inside of a sellotape roll, and then just cut it in half. And then we're going to curl these over, and we're going to make a cone. So you just fold over the two sides, twisting it around until you get a cone like that. So you want the shiny colour on the inside. You don't have to do this with metallic card. Again, this works perfectly well if you use like metallic wrapping paper. It might be actually easier to curl. I'm just going to tape that together. And then you want to make quite a few of these. So each circle make 2. And you want to try and like get different colours as well. More colours the better. Like that. So I've already done that. So I've got some pink, silver, blue, purple and green. So I'm basically going to stick these together using hot glue. I'm going to try and make it so it ends up in a little ball. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue just on the bottom of one. And put the next one on its side. And I'm going to carry on doing that. Hang on, I've done that the wrong colour, didn't I? What was that? Pink. Blue. Purple. And green. And I'm just going to keep building it up. So I like to start with like a round base. Nope, that's going to stick to that. That wasn't very clever. Nope, that was silver next. See, if I pulled that one away, I've got to redo that one. So that's what it's looked like so far. And then we're just going to stick some more on, like here. We're just going to build it up. So it ends up, if I quickly show you. Obviously you can glue these down as you're doing them. You want it so it ends up something like that. And then you turn over and do the other side as well. So try not to get the colours too close to each other. Because you want the colours all mixed up, so you don't want too much of the same in one spot. And then at some point as well, you're going to need to add a bit of string. So I've just got a bit of thread. And again with this, you can just pop a dab of glue, put it on there, push it into the glue, maybe add a little bit extra. And then leave it to dry. And that should hold it in place. And you can hang it up afterwards. Then once you're done, you just got to get rid of all those little strings of hot glue that are going to be all over the place. It can be a bit fiddly, but once the glue's dry, these come off really easy. It doesn't pull anything else off. So yeah, there you have it. You got your little, actually this one's bigger than the others, but it's a nice, shiny vintage style Oh, the glue stuck to me. Tree ornament. So if you can get the double-sided metallic paper, that's even better if it's got like colours on the inside and silver on the back, because then it looks like the proper, one of the proper ones you should be able to buy. Okay, so that's the end of my tutorials. So you've got this one, the little boxes, let's talk there, and the bell. So let me know which one you actually thought was best, or what your favourite retro kind of decoration is, ones you miss that you maybe can't get as much anymore, or what ones make you feel most Christmassy. Me, I like pretty much anything really colourful, but the ones that are just two colours or something, they're not for me. I like the proper colourful 80s, 90s style. So yeah, it's anything like that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Make a patchwork of our joys, scraps of love that time employs. Through our crafts we build and mend. In the end, hearts always blind. Materials may come alive. When we're together, dreams survive. Creativity flows and ends. In the end, hearts always blend.